Hey there, YouTube. It's your good friend, Fragments of Memory, once again. I've observed this trend. I don't know if it's a modern trend, but I observed this need in human beings, this compulsion to put people on blast or to air out someone's dirty laundry or to put people on the spot. Like, why do we do that? And that's what my Armchair Philosophy 101 is going to be dedicated to, is why are there people that do that? Why do people have this need to front people out, so to speak? For example, if there is something I feel insecure about or self-conscious about, and you know that, and let's say you become upset with me, now that thing you know about me is a weapon to use against me. And I have to ask, why do we do that? Because someone once pointed out that murdering your brother with a weapon, or excuse me, murdering your brother lyrically in a song or with words is just as bad as murdering him with a weapon. Now, this is a statement I agree with. And the reason I agree with this is words are very powerful. Words have a great deal of power. Now, I don't speak in the esoteric or the occultic sense, as with the abracadabra thing, but I speak in the sense of I can speak a good word to you, and that can cheer you up, change your day, change the outset of your day. I can speak a bad word to you and get you angry or make you cry or cut you, so to speak. Not cut your flesh, but cut your emotions, cut your soul, so to speak. And if people realized how powerful what one said to them was, we would be better in what we listen to. We'd be more selective in what we listen to. We'd be more selective in the things that we say, which is why I attempt to weigh my words here on YouTube and just in life. I try to weigh my words, carefully weigh them out just a little bit for a fraction of a second before I speak them. Not because I'm afraid of someone else's response, but I don't want to damage anyone because I understand what it is to be damaged by someone's words. Because the words of someone can stay with you for a long time, even long after that person is gone. So I would advise that people be careful with what they say, what they put out there. And this isn't me trying to dictate to you to be your preacher, to be your pastor, to be your mentor. This is just me just speaking my mind on what's going on in my mind. Too many folks way often speak and don't think. And then on the flip side, you could have the other extreme where people think too much and don't speak on it or don't act on it. So there's some way to find a good happy balance in medium. But I often find, why do we want to put people on blast? Like with the example of the breakup. If someone breaks up, we're quick to air out their dirty laundry, to bring up their shortcomings, to try to hurt them, or we try to assassinate their character. And that isn't the way to go. That really isn't the way to go. And again, I bring up this reminder for myself as well as anybody else who may hear this, because I know I have a tendency, if I feel I've been wronged or slighted or shorted in some way by someone, I'm ready to put them all on blast. I'm ready to just give it to them, like bam. And it's like, wait a minute. Because as many have said, you can gossip with the truth. You can backbite somebody if something is true. See, often I'll be like, how can you say, someone will say something bad, and I'll go, how can you say that? Well, it's the truth, seems to always be their defense. Well, just because it's the truth doesn't necessarily mean I have to speak it. We can be truthful without being brutal. And that's the problem. Too many people are brutal instead of just truthful. And we always use that defense and fall back on, well, it's the truth. Is that our excuse for misbehavior? It's the truth. You can gossip with the truth, and in my opinion, gossiping is horrible. Not up there with murder, but it is horrible. It is horrible. Well, let me take that back. It is murder to a certain degree. We're murdering the character of someone. We're murdering the perception that someone may have of the other person. And yes, you shouldn't let what someone thinks of you or says to you dictate your life, dictate what you should do in your life or be your guiding light. But it does affect you. It does affect you. I'm not sure how to say which effect or affect I should say, but it does affect you. And people forget that because we are human beings living in a society together, living on a planet together, we act and interact and are acted upon between one another. And this goes on and on and on via communication, via touch, via business transaction, via internet connection. And we have to be careful with what we're putting out there, because I do believe that any medium is powerful, whether it's film, television, the internet, radio, magazines, newspapers, books. I've had TV programs that have brought tears to my eyes. I've had music that has stirred my soul. So I would just recommend be careful with what you say, and let's not be so quick to put people on blast. Yes, that person may have shorted you or slighted you, but in some cases, you got to ask yourself, is it really necessary to put that person in their place, quote unquote? Is it really necessary? This, of course, is not a license to be a doormat. This is also not a license to be passive. However, I can speak a truth without trying to damage the other person. If you follow me. And the problem is we have this sort of destroy everybody mentality that crosses us in the wrong way. Someone cuts us off in traffic, we're ready to just cuss them out. And me, I work in a service industry, I work in customer service, so to speak. I work in the service industry, and I worked in like customer service and food service and sales service. So I know what it is to meet a rude customer. And I'm ready to put that person in their place. I'm ready to clown them. And that's not the way to go. So what I'd recommend is let's just recognize that everyone is human and that we do make mistakes and that we're not perfect. And we don't need to put people on blast and put their business all out there. Because in the long run, when I try to put someone on blast, it doesn't make that person look bad. It makes me look bad, because then now, what does it say about me? That I'm going to let this person's actions affect me to the point, or words affect me to the point where I'm ready to clown them. I'm ready to air out their embarrassing stuff. And that's stupid. Why do it? It's dumb. It's foolish. It's childish. And if you're an adult, you shouldn't be trying to resort to childish things. And again, I say this to me first and foremost before I say it to anybody else. So with that being said, this concludes another episode of Armchair Philosophy 101. Peace.